Namaste, everyone. My name is Allison. Thank you so much for showing up today on your mat. Today we're going to be working on a lot of hip work, a lot of hamstrings, glutes, just to stretch out those legs and really get into some deep stretches today. I have my tea. If you want to pause the video, grab your tea, your water, whatever you need, you can click pause and then come back whenever you're ready. I'll give you a few moments here to pause if you need. And then we're gonna get started actually on our mats in a seated forward fold. So face the front of your mat. Start to extend your legs long in front of you. And just start to feel your legs here. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. Flex and point the toes. Take a breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale. Good. Then find stillness in your legs. Even out your sit bones. And start to reach the hands and the arms overhead. And so we're going to move into a seated forward fold. Notice if your hamstrings are already really tight. If they are, just start to bend the knees a little. I have really tight hamstrings, so I'm going to bend my knees. Flex your toes. Breathe in. Then hinging at the hips, fold forward with a long spine. And then maybe you grab for the toes, your ankles, and with your breath, slowly start to extend the knees, the legs, as much as you can. Really gentle here. And so sometimes what I see is people tend to round the spine here, like this. This is not very comfortable. What I want you to do is think about hinging from your hips, so that'll really lengthen your spine and pull your belly in. Start to pull the heart forward towards the thighs. You don't have to keep your legs nice and straight. They can be straight or bent. Now let's breathe here for 5 breaths. Notice how every breath gets you deeper into the pose. Good job. Start to walk your hands back towards the hips. Shake out the legs. They might feel a little tingly. That's okay. Start to bend the knees. Bring the soles of your feet in together. Butterfly pose. So I'll face you guys so you can see me. Knees point out wide. You can have your feet close to your pelvis, or maybe if there's not enough space or room, bring the feet a little bit more out towards the front. Good. Now option to grab for your feet. Lengthen your heart, your chest. Breathe and exhale. You can stay here or start to hinge. We're going to do lots of hingings today. And start to notice and feel your outer glutes start to stretch and talk to you. Maybe you place the hands on the knees, slowly bringing the knees towards the floor, or you can rest them by your toes. And again, avoid rounding the spine here. You don't want to round. You want to lengthen your spine as much as you can. Breathe in for 5 breaths and out for 5. And slowly open the eyes, start to walk your hands back. Let's take a little tea break if you have it, or your water break. Take your little sip. Start to honor your body. And know that yoga doesn't always have to be one way or the other. It doesn't always have to be flowy. It just has to be perfect for you in the moment. So if that means stretching your legs for 20 minutes, then that is your yoga today. Now extend your right leg long. Bring the sole of your left foot inside of your right thigh. Start to flex your right toes up towards the sky. Make sure the knee is pointing high towards the sky. We're gonna get into our left side. Reach the left arm up, and then slowly start to bend, side bend towards your right toes. So notice, I'm not touching my toes here, and that's okay. Some people can reach all the way down. Some people just need to stay up here. I want you to focus on the heart. Notice if your heart is dumping down or if it's pulling up. See if you can pull the chest towards the ceiling. And then your bottom arm acts as a twist, so your elbow is pinning in towards that inner thigh, allowing your heart and chest to open. And breathe 5 breaths here. Start to pull your left hip down towards the earth. Gaze underneath your armpit. On your last inhale, slowly start to rise up. Whew. Good job. Let's take that on the other side. Extend the left leg long out to the side and pull the sole of your right foot in, hooking it inside of your inner thigh. Now this side might feel different than the other. Just start to notice, become the observer of your own body. Reach the right arm up, inhale, and exhale, side bend to the left. Slowly start to hinge, root your right hip down, open your heart towards the sky and breathe for 5. Good, slowly reach all the way back up. Now this time reach both legs out wide, seated wide leg forward fold. Remember to flex the toes towards the ceiling, point the knees up. This might already be a lot for your inner thighs. So if you're happy here, stay here. If you want to get a little deeper into those inner thighs and hips, breathe in. Then slowly hinging at the hips, remember that flat back, start to crawl your hands forward. And maybe you just crawl 2 times, or if you can reach all the way down to the forearms, listen to where you need to go. The inner thighs and the knees will want to crawl inward. Start to pull the knees back, point the toes up. Breathe here. And slowly, slowly start to come all the way back. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Once again, we reset here. Maybe shake out the knees, move the legs. Now find easy seat Sukhasana. So cross your legs. We're gonna take a few breaths. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, bring the hands back to center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Option to gaze high. And exhale, relax them back down. Maybe you close your eyes here, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, release. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Good. We're gonna reach the right leg forward and move into a runner's lunge or lizard pose. So send the right leg forward and angle your feet out at a 45-degree angle and start to lengthen the back leg. Drop the back knee. You can stay on your palms, hands go inside of the right foot. Or if there's space in your hips today and you have maybe blocks around you or anything that you use for props, maybe you come down to the forearms. Explore that space between your hips. I have really tight hips today. I went snowboarding yesterday, so I'm gonna stay up on my palms. And we're here for about 5 breaths. Send the breath all the way down to your hips. Take your last breath in. You can stay here in runner's lunge, or if you want to get into a quad stretch, start to pull the left heel in towards the glute. Now with your right hand, reach up and over, grab for the top of your foot, and start to pull that heel in towards the glute. Options here to open the heart towards the sky, or for a deeper quad stretch, pull your shoulder down, squaring the shoulders to the earth, and then keep pulling into that back heel. Relax your head and neck. Where can you soften a little more? Take a breath in through the nose and exhale slowly and gently release that foot back down. Plant both palms in front of you. And then meet me in a high plank. We're gonna switch it out. Whew, that right hip flexor is feeling it. Send the left leg forward, angle your toes out, and then drop the back knee. This might already feel super deep into your hips right here. So I invite you to take any modifications that you need. Maybe you stay up on your palms or come down to the forearms and notice this side might feel different than the other. Our right and lefts aren't exactly the same. And we're here for about 5 breaths. Just breathe, relax your shoulders, your head and neck. If you want to go into that quad stretch, start to pull the right heel in towards the glute. Reach your left arm up and over, grab for the foot, and then pull it in towards your glute. Breathing. Whew. How can you focus on the breath here to stay present on your mat, in your body? Gently release that foot back down. Plant both of your hands, high plank, and then meet in a downward facing dog. First down dog of class. Say hello to your down dog. Maybe you walk your feet, dig your heels into the earth, and then press the ground down and away from you. Breathe deeply here. Reach your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Place the knee behind the right wrist. Lower the hips, flex your right toes, and then lengthen the back leg. So it's okay if your front shin is not parallel to the top of your mat. Pigeon looks different in every single body. All I want you to focus on is squaring the hips to really feel that in your outer thighs. Maybe you stay here, proud pigeon. If you want to move into your sleeping pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, breathe in. And exhale, slowly lower all the way down, hinging at your hips. Crawl the hands or the forearms down. Option to stay here on the forearms, or maybe you come down to the forehead. Relax your head and neck, let the belly hang loose. And think about pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward. You can always place a block underneath your hips to square them even more. So start to walk your hands all the way back up. Plant your hands. We're going to meet in a downward facing dog. Untuck the back toes, send the leg back. Maybe shake out that leg. New blood into your system and bring it back down. We'll take it on the other side. Reach your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Place the left knee behind the left wrist. Flex your toes. Lengthen your right leg long behind you. If you have any props, you can place a block or a pillow right underneath here, underneath your hips to square. Take your variations. Inhale. Exhale, option for sleeping pigeon. Start to hinge at the hips. Slowly crawl your hands or your forearms down and breathe here. Walk the hands all the way back towards the hips. Plant your palms in front of you, downward facing dog. Shake out that leg. And we meet in a down dog. Good work. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and then lower onto the knees. Come sitting down on your heels. We'll close out our practice either in a shavasana you choose, or sitting down on the heels, focusing on the breath. Close your eyes. Take a breath in and a breath out. Stay here for as long as you need. And thank you so much for practicing with me today.